I know that when I made these original Bitcoin SV videos, there was a lot of people that thought that I was absolutely batshit crazy. But it kind of parallels what goes on in my so called religious, spiritual life, whatever you want to call it. Like when you read the original biblical white paper, which your average person has never done. I'm talking about Genesis to Malachi. This is a really, really interesting thing because I had people in the comment section, and I wasn't shocked, black people in particular, who told me that they have never read the Old Testament. Well, the Old Testament is the original white paper. That's exactly what it is. And if you ever challenge yourself to read from Genesis to Malachi only, that's a new challenge people need to do. Not the Tide Pod challenge or whatever, the cinnamon up your nose challenge. No. Let's read the original biblical white paper, Genesis to Malachi, and write a report on what do you think these books are saying. And then we're going to have you read Matthew to Revelation. That's I hate to do that to people. But and then you tell me what the book is saying, and you're going to tell me you would have come to the same conclusion that I came to, that those are two different books and only Genesis to Malachi makes any sense. So after all these years, you know how this came about? I'm going to I'm going to share with you. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. But as I already told you, I got the numbers wrong, by the way. At that first video, I was telling you that I bought 3 Bitcoin for $400 each, and I cashed out all three when it hit $20,000 each. That's what I did. I got those numbers wrong. When it hit the high of 20,000, I cashed out. I did really good. That's an astronomical gain. I would have to Google how do you figure out the percentage of that. Those of you who are good at math, you can write it down if you're so curious. I can't really figure that out in my head right now. 3 BTC for $400, and I cashed out for 20,000 each. That's an astronomical gain, and this is why I salute Vention all the time. Vention One Migto kept staying on me and saying this is going to make a lot of money, and it did. It made me a lot of money. But let me just say this. Let me just say this. All these years later, having reread the original white paper, and I'm pretty sure it's on it has to be on Amazon. I'm gonna go to Amazon today, and I'm going to look for the BTC white paper, and I'm gonna buy it because when you read the BTC white paper, this thing that is called Bitcoin is not Bitcoin. It is not. First of all the legacy addresses. This is something that I learned the beginning of this year. They all start with the number one. This is how you know BTC is not the real Bitcoin. It is BSV. Uh, Bitcoin was supposed to be a peer to peer electronic cash system. It was supposed to be infinitely scalable. You were supposed to be able to do everything with Bitcoin. You would be able to. I remember Da Vinci. I should have bought when Da Vinci was talking about it. He's still on YouTube. I haven't subscribed to him in a while. He became a billionaire due to BTC, right? I should have bought BTC when it was $1 each. I would have been a billionaire, right? But even he said the same thing. It was supposed to be scalable. You were supposed to be able to run websites inside the BTC network. You cannot do this with BTC. You cannot. The more you learn the truth, Forget about Craig Wright. Forget about all of that. The more you learn the truth, the more you learn that I could send you damn near any amount of BSV. It'll get there in seconds. You will receive it in seconds. It gets there pretty similar to the speed of XRP. It literally does. If I was to send any of you, I have about $3 worth of BTC. I don't even keep it because it's trash. It's slow as fuck. It was never meant to be a store of value. It was meant to be a medium of everyday exchange. The same way that you would be, whipping out your debit card to buy groceries like I did today. Uh, BTC, the real BTC, which is in my opinion BSV, it was meant to be used. It wasn't meant to be hoarded. It wasn't meant to be hoarded like people have gold sitting in all these banks around the world and nobody uses gold on an everyday basis. When have you ever seen somebody go to your local 7-Eleven with an ounce of gold to buy whatever? They would look at you like you're crazy. BTC, Bitcoin was never supposed to be hoarded like gold. It was never supposed to be hoarded like this. It was supposed to be on an infinitely scalable network. In other words, you can run businesses inside the BTC network. You could send instant messages. You were literally supposed to do everything, and yet you can't. And if I was to send you Bitcoin right now, if I was to send you BTC, right? If I was to send you that $3.85 that I have in BTC, the network fee, depending on the time of day, depending on the congestion, the network fee could probably be $5 to $10. It's the truth. I remember I sent when I had large amounts of BT. Well, I had a little over three. So I remember sending over $1,000 in BTC to cash out or whatever. Number one, it took 5 minutes for it to show up on the other side. And then it had to confirm, and it took about an hour to confirm before I can even turn around and what? Cash out into fiat. This takes too long. This takes too long. The first time that I woke up out of the fog of the BTC camp, it's ironic, it's ironic that I woken up from this Jesus bullshit and I only believe in God only. And I woke up out of this BTC bullshit and I only believe in BSV. Well, not only BSV, XLM, XRP, XDC. You know what I'm saying? But BTC is garbage. The real original code, the real original vision is Bitcoin Satoshi vision. It does everything that the white paper says it was originally supposed to do. Everything. So I invite you to have an open mind because what would you rather do? Would you rather, because you know what? The hash rate, closing it out, the hash rate is looking really problematic these days. Right? Hold on a second. In order for any of the BTC protocols to survive, you have to have miners that continuously mine blocks. When it no longer is profitable to mine blocks with big, gigantic supercomputers, you know what happens? The miners switch over their code and they're going to mine on another system that just happens to have a teranode. BSV has. Do you know what a teranode is? A teranode, in as much as the little bit that I know about it, a teranode was designed to give you 1 million transactions per second. This is what is coming online to BSV. 1 million transactions per. That amount of computing power. That amount of computing power. Listen. What is what is BTC has an 8 megabyte block limit? You know how low that is? You know how it, please. You can barely send an email with a 8 megabyte block limit. Come on now. When the Teranode comes online and when you have 1 million transactions per second, and all the transaction fees are in less than pennies. Do you seriously think that BSV is going to forever stay low? Not financial advice. When BSV is already has IBM is already using the BSV blockchain for their online services. IBM. You can go look up what I said. Do you really think that BSV is just going to just go nowhere? Like, so to me, I'm going to state it. I know people got upset with me before. I'm going to say it again. BSV to me, rereading the original white paper, BSV is the real Bitcoin. It is what it is. And not only that, it does have a bright future, and I am actively buying. I just bought some today. Because it's the real deal. Thank you, Vention, for showing me uh, this BTC that did change my life. But then God showed me. I asked God to give me back my 3 Bitcoin that I lost, and guess what? He showed me a BSV video. I've never seen a BSV video. What was it? This year I started buying BSV. I started seeing a literal prayer. I said, God, help me to get my 3 BTC back. And it wasn't a couple of days later, I started out of nowhere recommended videos, BSV. This is when I learned the truth that not giving you financial advice. BSV is the real original Bitcoin, and it is going to do well. I believe that with all my heart.